So how do you know if moving to Texas is right for you? In this video, I'm going to share 7 things that can help you decide if moving to Texas is right for your family. Hello, my name is Dana Pollard and I'm a real estate agent in Texas, and we help people narrow down where to move in this vast state of Texas. So if you are thinking about moving to Texas and you want to buy a home, fill out the Dream Home questionnaire in the link below. And if you already live in Texas and have a house to sell, fill out the Sell My Home questionnaire. So the number one thing that I'm sure you've already thought about is, who would you be leaving behind if you're moving from out of state? So my parents moved to Texas when I was 4 years old, and they moved from Minnesota. Now for them, it may be a little bit different for you, maybe similar, I'm not sure. But for them, they decided that they wanted to move to Texas because they both came from very, let's say, not very healthy backgrounds, okay? So they were literally escaping their family. So for some of you, maybe you're leaving behind family and you will be very sad about it. For my family, they were sad about it, yes, but they wanted to start a new life, one that the culture they were in, they just needed to get out of it. And we still, to this day, my brother, sister, and myself, we all say one of the best decisions they made for us was to move to Texas because it changed generations. And so now that I'm married and I have raised my kids here, my other 2 siblings, they are married and raising their kids here as well. And it really impacted generations for us. So the culture here in Texas is one that they wanted to seek out for better for their family. Not just, the culture of Texas, which I'm happy about, but escaping the culture of their family. So that's just our story. Now you may or may not relate to that. However, do think about if you're moving and you're leaving your mother in another state. If they're getting older, you may have to go back to take care of them, or you may just simply miss your family or your friends, your current circle. So those are just some thoughts. If you can easily jump on a plane and go see them, or maybe you're bringing them with you, as many of our clients' families do, then those are some things to consider and think about. The second thing on the list, but not really far from family, is, can you withstand the heat? And I say that because while normally I can withstand the heat, I actually enjoy the 90-degree weather. On average, the high in the summertime is normally 96, but this year, I don't know if I can withstand this 104-degree temperature every day for 2 months straight now. So this year is an exceptional year. It's not normally over 100 degrees for weeks on end. We may peak into the 100-degree temperatures, 7 to 14 days in a summer, but it's not typically for 2 months straight. So this is a very strange year, and we are not enjoying the excessive heat. Now, while we are on the weather topic, the third thing to consider is, if Texas is right for you, is, do you enjoy having 4 seasons? And so I know, depending on where you're coming from, we do have 4 seasons here. Some people say we have 2 seasons, especially if you live in Houston or San Antonio, where it's either winter or summer. But in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and even the Panhandle near Amarillo, we do get a good 4 seasons here. We love the spring. We love the fall. It does get cold here into the 50s as highs many times in the winter time. And the summers, normally 96, it's like 105. But I do enjoy having 4 seasons. Now, I would say Kansas City has a more distinct 4 seasons, okay? So there are some places that have better 4 seasons, but I do like being on the warmer side here in Dallas-Fort Worth. The fourth thing you want to consider if you are moving to Texas is, do you lean on the conservative side? So, as you may know, that most of Texas leans conservative. Now, you are going to find like cities like Dallas and Austin and Houston, like the major cities, they're going to lean on the liberal side. But most of your suburbs and country living does lean conservative. You can definitely feel it. The fifth thing you want to consider if moving to Texas is right for you is, do you want the job opportunities? And have you considered the different salaries from your state to this state? And because there are salary differences. Now, Texas is on the rise when it comes to salaries right now. But also there are many job opportunities. I mean, every week we are hearing of so many corporations moving to Texas. And so those opportunities are moving here too. So those are some things to consider though. But do consider property tax, your income state tax, and the cost of goods, right? Cost of living. Texas still remains lower than most states on cost of living, but it is rising pretty rapidly here, especially with this inflation thing going on. The sixth thing to consider if moving to Texas is right for you is, do you really need the mountains? Because we don't have very many here. We do have some nice, beautiful hills near the West Austin area. They are beautiful. They are just not mountains, okay? And then we do have the canyons up in the Panhandle. We do have some hills here depending on where you drive, but that could be, an issue if you love hiking mountains. And then the second thing is the ocean. Now, we do have the Gulf of Mexico that borders up by Galveston and Corpus Christi, which I think is very cute. Now, it's still the ocean, it's still the waves, and it's great fishing if you love ocean fishing. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's a good 5-hour drive to get to the ocean. And last but not least, if you're considering moving to Texas, many people love to talk about their things that they carry in their pockets. Especially if you lived in the country, like they're very passionate about this subject. Now, I'm not saying everyone just talks about firearms all the time or anything like that. I'm just saying that people really get passionate about those topics, and so we lean conservative here again in Texas, so those are some things to consider. Again, if you're looking at moving to Texas, fill out the Dream Home questionnaire in the link below, and we will be so excited to see you on a one-on-one Zoom consultation with one of my most amazing buyer agents. Thanks so much.